What's up, everybody? The world's a better place because you're here to join us. My name is Matt Brown, and I am the host of the Productive Conversations podcast. And it is a feel good Friday, the 21st of February, 2025. And we got a great show for all of you. Ryan and Jose are in the building. Hey, guys.
How's it
What's
going?
up?
Not too bad. Not too bad. So, as always, don't forget to check out all our content throughout social media. We're on Instagram at Productive Conversations Podcast, Twitter and X at Pod, TikTok and Facebook at Productive Conversations. And don't forget to check out our other content. Earlier this week, we had one tweet app. Check out our NBA talk that's available this week as well. And back at it with two tweet caps next week in a college basketball discussion. But there's plenty that took place over the week. So let's talk all about it. So first things first, let's talk about a hip hop story. So big news came out if you're a hip hop fan, if you're a fan of the ASAP crew. ASAP Rocky was on trial for the last few weeks. I saw, and other things, the baby mama of Rihanna. So he was on trial in Los Angeles, stemming from a 2021 shooting that took place in Hollywood. He was accused of firing a handgun at a former friend, another member of the ASAP crew. And he was facing as much as 20 months, I think it was facing as much as 20 years in prison. And ultimately, the jury found him not guilty. And he is now a free man, but things get rocky still, and intended there. But who would have thought if ASAP Rocky was found guilty in this world? Have you guys been following what happened there?
So, I mean, I know obviously how this ended, but I didn't know a lot before the trial, so I don't really know, like, I don't know that if he did or didn't do it. I just have to go by what the jury said. Like, so I don't have an opinion that differs from the jury. Like, I haven't seen a lot of people being like, they got this right or they got this wrong or anything like that. It hasn't gotten that level of scrutiny, which leads me to believe that this was probably the best decision based on the evidence that they received from the newest member of the ASAP crew, ASAP Joe, who
Yes,
is
that's
the
who it was.
lawyer, which I did
Joe
find very
Taka,
funny.
I think Takayama,
Something
Takayama,
like that, yeah, but
Trump's lawyer.
just
He's
much easier to
A-Rod's
say.
lawyer.
Yeah.
Very high profile lawyer.
Yeah, he does celebrities essentially, right? Like that's a whole categorization. There's people who just handle like celebrities or like infamous business people or whatever. And that's this guy. But ASAP Joe kept his crew out of prison. And so, I mean, he probably went to a pretty wild party, maybe for the first time ever, uh, in response to getting ASAP Rocky off of the charges. But yeah, I haven't heard a lot of people saying that they got this wrong. So I'm going to assume that means this was this was pretty clear that he didn't do it, but I don't know.
I mean, nobody's saying that because nobody really fucking cares, to be honest. This is like what, 4 years old? Like
Yeah, it's
nobody
old.
like nobody remembers this.
That could be too. That just no one cared about this at 4 years later, right? But I don't know. Usually when people feel like they got something totally wrong, especially when like weapons and let's be honest, rappers are involved, right? Like those are two
Hmm.
things that people always have a strong opinion on in one direction or the other. And so the fact that there doesn't seem to be a lot of people saying that this was wrong leads me to believe that this is probably just truthfully the best judgment based on the information that they got, right?
Yeah, and basically what happened is the jury of 7 women and 5 men took 3 hours to deliberate.
Hmm.
They could decide, they were able to decide if he was not guilty based on only firing blanks from a prop gun taken at a music video set. The
Hmm.
defense argued that it was in self-defense. Um, and basically they could have also just proven if there was enough to prove the case. And I believe that's where it was leading from all I'm reading. They just didn't have enough evidence to put him away.
There was not the one guy that was ready to snitch.
Yeah,
His story was all fucked up and shit, and it was
right.
like,
That's what I
yeah,
mean. Yeah, it's like when you're on a jury, I feel like
Yeah, he was
you hear
facing
this
24
info.
years in prison. for this.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But he admitted. So if he's going self-defense, he admitted that he shot the gun.
Yeah, he claimed it was a blanks, and it did graze the guy's knuckles that he shot at.
Mm-hmm.
So, and he got a. Yo, this is so crazy. He
Well,
admitted. He
I mean,
admitted.
you are allowed to shoot someone if it's in self-defense.
Yeah, and it was
Like,
ASAP
factually.
Relly, by the way, who was the victim here.
And also, if I'm not mistaken, the gun was actually used as a prop, right?
Yeah,
So,
I mean, that's the only reason why it must be. That's the only reason why he didn't get
and
attempted murder.
that's what I mean. Like, Baldwin got off for very similar. Like, if you're at a music video shoot or movie shoot, and you pick up a prop gun, right, and you fire it, like, it would be weird for you to assume, for you to assume that the gun was loaded with ammunition that could hurt somebody because you're literally at a music video shoot or you're literally on set, regardless. So it's like it wouldn't be. It's
sets
not
and
weird.
guns, huh? The
Well, yeah,
movie sets
exactly.
and TV sets
Sounds
and
like they
guns
should.
lately,
We
huh?
should just do like medieval stuff for a little while. Just go back to swords for a bit. But
The
no, in all
Odyssey.
seriousness, it's like, yeah, if you're on set and you pick up a gun from shooting, you're not expecting it to hurt anybody because you were just using it in a movie or a music video or whatever. So I don't know, I can see it. I can see it being genuinely a shock. Now, it's weird that he says that he grabbed a gun he didn't think would do anything in self-defense. That's strange to me personally. That maybe he just wanted to scare him.
And
I don't, you
and
know what I
just
mean? Like,
seeing the testimony, did you hear about with the attorney Takapina? That's his name.
mhm.
Just screamed at at ASAP Rocky, an angry pathological liar who committed perjury again and again and again and again.
Did he? I mean, actually, we'll find out, right? If they charge him with perjury. But, um, yeah, no, I mean, it is weird to think I would pick up a fake gun to defend myself. But if it's the only thing around, I suppose you use it, see if you can't, scare them off. I don't know.
I mean, with all the bodyguards around him, it's definitely not the only thing around.
I'm just saying, it is weird to me that he would say it was a fake gun, but I used it in self-defense. That's strange. But I think, honestly, they just threw a lot of different things out there that could be true. Like, it could have been a fake gun because they were on set. It could have been self-defense because this guy, was getting in his face, so on and so forth. And as long as you put doubt in people that the prosecution story is what happened, you're in a good spot as a defense attorney, right? That's what you need to do. It's not about saying, no, this didn't happen, this happened. It's about saying that didn't happen because maybe this happened, maybe that happened. How do you know that that happened? Essentially, is the defense attorney's job is not to say, no, here's the actual truth. It's to say you don't know that that's the truth, and if you don't know that that's the truth, you're not supposed to send someone to prison for 24 years. So,
And that lawyer, the passionate lawyer, figured it out and won it. So
ASAP Joe, he's gonna have a whole section on the next track or in the next
Mhm.
album. It's gonna be featuring ASAP Joe. It's just gonna be the clip of him, what's it called, screaming in court over some sort of
yeah.
music, and then they're gonna rap over that. Actually, I bet you money that's gonna happen. What do I get? I don't know what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna give myself a nice pat on the back when they do it. That's for sure.
You'll get some nice respect, Ryan.
Thank you.
There you go.
All right, my friends. Well, let me start this next segment by asking you guys, have you seen the movie Flight with Denzel Washington?
Yes.
Hmm.
You know exactly what I'm referring to by bringing that up. Delta Flight 4819 that, made the news earlier this week. Operated by Endeavor Air, crashed while landing at the Toronto Pearson International Airport. The aircraft flipped upside down on the runway. The incident resulted in injuries to passengers, no deaths. Investigations are underway to determine the cause of the crash, with factors like weather conditions being considered and pilot error. It is very important to note that all aboard survived the crash. I have footage of the crash right here. I'll play for you really quick. So this is right here. Pretty scary stuff.
Tar, you're seeing this airplane just crash into.
Pretty wild, huh?
Yeah.
Pretty wild. And like I said, this was just like in the movie Flight, that
Yes.
also flipped upside down with Denzel. Different story, but yeah, guys. And amongst this, Delta knows they're gonna get sued, and they're offering $30,000 to every person on board for now.
Yeah, hold the
So,
line, guys.
yeah.
That's not enough. The plane
Yeah.
was upside down.
I
The
don't mean to
plane
laugh.
was
Sorry,
on
but
the top and
yeah.
not the bottom. And that's not how planes are supposed to go. If your Delta ends up Denzel, 30K is absolutely the starting position and not the finish line.
I just love how right away they knew we are so fucked.
We are screwed. Exactly.
Yeah. Let's
but
try to see $30,000 who we can get
Yeah,
to start.
But also, one of the things that I've found just hysterical and then shouldn't be funny, but it is a little funny because we've got like 952 plane crashes in the last month. So, but like, there's a lot of people who show that clip, right? And they're like, they have to investigate to see what went wrong. I'm like, what went wrong is the plane flipped over.
Yeah, right.
Like we know what went wrong. You know, there's times when a plane falls out of the sky, you're like, what happened? And sometimes you'll never know, right? Because it happened in the sky, no one was around, and you just got to try and put the pieces together with what you have left, forensics, right? We watched it land, and then it flipped over. We know what happened. It flew all the way, totally fine, landed and flipped over. Now I know that they're saying what they actually mean is it pilot error or is it weather or both? It's probably both if we're being honest. But in general, I just find that wording funny. Is what happened to the flight? It flipped over. That's what happened. We watched it. But yeah, no. Delta's gonna have to pay a lot more than $30,000 to all those people.
Yeah, right.
I honestly I don't know. I don't know what number I'd have
Millions,
for
hundred
that. Like,
thousands.
I don't know what I would hold off for, but I would hold off for something. Like
Yeah.
they couldn't even get me to listen to them for $30,000.
The
I'd be
plane
like,
went upside
absolutely
down.
But I thought
After
I thought they're giving it 30 million automatically.
30,000. I mean, maybe
That's what I
that's
was
not
told.
gonna buy my that won't buy my silence. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, they probably won't. They said they knew they were going to get sued. That even if they're getting sued, no matter what, they were giving every passenger $30,000.
well, that's
Well, you know
nice.
what? To be honest with you, that's nice, and honestly, that will probably make it the suing less bad.
Right.
Because people are like, all right, they owned up that it was their fault. They gave us 30 for free. Now we're gonna sue them, but we're not gonna we're not gonna go super hard because they're not trying to be hardos about it.
And people
Mhm.
did
You
get
know.
legitimately hurt, and
Yeah,
the mental toll that's going to take on all of them for the rest of their lives.
I
too.
want to sue. I'm supposed to get on like an airplane next weekend. I don't
With
want to
Delta?
fly. I don't even know who.
Listen,
I think United. I'm like,
oh wow.
but still, it's like all these planes are. I can't. I'm allowed to swear, but I sometimes don't want to. All these planes though, since January, and I'm like, I don't want to be on a plane. It seems like the worst place to be ever right now. I'd rather walk
I would just be like, just
to
make
Florida.
mine is just make the flights cheaper. That's me though.
No, I don't want. No,
At this
I
point,
don't,
just
why?
make them cheaper. I'll risk
I don't
it.
care if I get
I want a
Denzel. I just
$50
wish
a
it
do-
was cheaper.
Yeah,
No,
at this point,
I'll pay more if you promise you won't flip the plane.
I know.
At
but
this
like,
point, because they keep flipping them.
A lot of FAA issues have been no doubt been highlighted, but
Yeah, well, this was
at the end of
let's be clear. This was in Canada. This one wasn't our fault.
well,
Just want to point that out.
but still, the idea is that we still have no choice but to unless you want to take go cross country every
No,
single
you just have
time.
to fly. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's just my argument. Just give me $1 million and make my flights cheaper for life. But yeah, I mean, it really is a mess. People definitely have a reason to be cautious.
Nervous, yeah.
I mean,
And
it could be worse.
you
They
know.
could have took Southwest.
Southwest doesn't have any problems that I've heard, or
Yeah, what happened to
Spirit
Southwest?
Airlines.
Oh wait, didn't Southwest?
It's
They're
the
the ones who
that hit
crashed
the
on
helicopter.
the.
They
No, that
killed
was
that.
American.
Okay, well, it could have been worse with America, but I know Southwest did something.
Southwest, I believe, they hit each other. They were both on the ground driving at the same time, and they bumped into each other on the ground. They didn't even fly.
Was that the
Airplanes
charter
crashed on
one
the
with
ground.
college basketball team? I think Gonzaga.
No, so that killed somebody.
Oh,
That was a
jeez.
plane hit like the guy driving the little luggage cart.
Oh, that's a
Yeah. But no, this other one was, I believe, it was a different thing. It was in Phoenix, I think, or somewhere in like that area. And yeah, it was literally they hit each other trying to drive to the runway. I'm like, they didn't even take off and they crashed. Like, that's
listen.
I'm just
I
gonna
don't think
be
it's corny
like,
anymore to ever clap
yeah,
on
I
a
might
flight.
clap next week if we land. I might clap.
I mean, nah, I don't blame you. My mom took a flight today and she made it safe, so that's a
Well,
good
that's
step.
good.
What
Yes,
flight did
that's
she
good.
where on?
Went to visit my brother in Florida. I don't
Okay, I'm
know.
going
I
to
don't
Florida
know
too.
who. I don't know who. I don't know where.
You know the
What
one airline
airline?
that had no accidents so far? Fucking
Spirit.
Spirit, yo.
Exactly.
Well,
I'll still take
no,
my chances
but
before I go on
no.
Spirit.
Remember, this in fairness, not Spirit Airlines' fault directly, but they flew over Haiti, and then they all shot at the plane.
Oh,
I
So
did
it
not hear
did.
this story.
Yes, this was
damn.
in January. So you want to know why this one didn't get covered like the other ones, by the way? Well, one, because the
Because
plane didn't fall.
there's enough
Um,
issues.
well, yeah, but two, and this is true, it was actually before the inauguration. It was before American. So we weren't like really paying attention. Then the helicopter thing, so we're all paying attention, and then a million planes crash right after that, and we're like, "What's going on?" But yeah, no, I don't believe that plane crashed. But yeah, no, they all got shot at.
I will say, do
So
you think, a lot of
that's
people want
something.
to blame the DEI restrictions? Do you really think that's the difference maker?
Do
I
I
like
think that wait?
anyone. It does have to be brought up with this segment to be fair about
No, it
why
does,
this has
but
happened.
so I can't. I'm just trying to figure out. Are you saying that I think the previous DEI policies are why this happened, or the current anti-DEI
Yeah,
policies are
the
why this
current
happened?
ones. The current ones.
Gotcha. I don't think either of them are responsible for what's
Me
happening.
neither.
I
I
I
agree
do
with you.
think
I
we
really think
fired a
it's a
lot of
mess.
people,
Yeah,
and that's
unfairly.
probably not good. And if we fired most of those people because of like this whole trying to find the DEI hire, that was silly. We shouldn't have done that. But I think it's
Yeah.
less about who we're hiring or not hiring now and in the past, and more about the fact that we don't have enough people.
Yep.
And that's I think part of it. We also have a lot of air travel. Just in general, air travel's coming back after having paused during the COVID 5 years ago or whatever it was now. So I don't know. I think it's kind of just a mix of a lot of people traveling. They're already a little bit short staffed. They're already kind of running themselves to the edge.
Yeah.
You know
Right. When you do, I'm sure doing 20-hour shifts, that takes a toll on you.
exactly. But I
Focus.
don't think it's like it's because they did or did not hire a certain person.
Yeah. Right.
Right. I don't
I
think
don't
that
think
that's
so
it. I think
either.
it's they need people to do the job. And they had people doing the jobs that they fired, but that wasn't all because of the DEI thing. Some of that was just general, cuts, like they said they were going to make. And in fairness, they made them. So,
Stinks. Oh man, Bonnie Blue, guys, is back. Bonnie
oh
Blue
yeah,
is slowly turning into our Hawk
plus
2 of
two.
2025. Bonnie Blue is the OnlyFans model slash porn star that is known for sleeping with a lot of men in a short amount of time. And
Yes.
guess what? Apparently, she slept with 1,000 men in 12 hours recently, and now she is reportedly pregnant. So, who knows what happened there? I will say here on this viral tweet, in terms of trying to figure out the father, since there's literally thousands of men to choose from, Moy Povich said he is sitting this one out. No chance. Real tweet. But yeah, guys, Bonnie Blue. That is a unique situation, huh? This is almost like it's almost like a comedy movie plot
I kind of, right?
in a way, right?
So,
Bonnie Blue.
I mean, listen, she probably can't. I would assume she made everybody
I
wear
mean, I assumed
protection.
everybody were, yeah, that's what I thought.
Which
But
again,
it's I
protection is
was
not 100% certain.
As we see.
yeah, but I would
But
assume that at least she would have took the day after pill when she was done. Plan B just to be on the
I
safe
mean,
side.
that's neither here nor there. I'm trying to think realistically. And by the way, none of this can ever be proven. None of the guys will probably ever have to
Take a paternity test.
unless they want to, unless they genuinely think it might be their kid, want to. But like, so it was 100 or it was 1,057 people in less than 24 hours, right?
Unbelievable. Yeah.
So like,
Apparently.
that's not a lot of time per person. So the reality is, not every one of those guys had the opportunity to sire a child with Bonnie Blue, right? Like, just realistically, not everybody, in the 2 minutes that you have with her was able to, fire up. And so those people, you could get rid of them. And then, of the other people, I feel like they probably know if they, I don't know. To me, it feels like you could probably find this person if you tried really hard. But of course, if they refused to take a paternity test, and they would have every right to refuse because there was literally 1,000 people who could have technically been, then you would never actually prove it. But I think she probably has an idea about
Yeah,
who it
but
might have been.
you can cut that number in
Oh
half as
my
soon as the baby
God.
comes.
Who's the one to
Well, that's true
Skiddy?
too. I mean,
the one who was the boom goes the dynamite? You ever see that clip of the Breakfast Club with Charlamagne the God as Magic Johnson? And he just said one of the most savage questions any interviewer ever asked. And he's like, Magic, you ever thought, man, it was definitely that nasty bitch in Sacramento. You think there's a situation?
no.
Said that to his face, by the way, on the Breakfast Club. Do you think there's someone in her head is like, man, it has to be that one dude, who that nasty dude from Liverpool, because she happens to be British
She's
too.
British, yeah. I mean, I feel like I doubt it's like it was definitely that guy. It's probably more of a she knows which guys maybe
had the chance.
yeah. Like she probably knows like which ones were still like really not close and which ones were super fast and you know what I mean? Like she's got
Yeah.
that idea, so she probably could narrow it down. And then like Jose said, not everybody looked the same, I presume. So
Right.
you could narrow it down even more once the baby is born to say, okay, here are the people in my head who it could have been. Here's who it looks like. Let's test these people. But again, if I'm one of those people, unless I'm genuinely curious, and they might be, by the way, like if I had participated in that and then this happened, and then at the end they're like, yeah, you're one of the people I think it could be, I'd probably just do it because I kind of want to know. You know what I mean? Like I would be genuinely curious, I think. But if they're not genuinely curious and they don't want to deal with it because they don't want, and I'm also, by the way, going off the assumption that none of these men would probably owe much in child support, given the fact that she probably makes more than they do, uh,
hmm
doing OnlyFans. Like, let's just be honest. The kid, in terms of financial security, the kid is fine because the reason that the kid is born is because they made like a hit OnlyFans video. So I would say like it probably won't cost too much. It'll cost you something because you had a kid and you have to help take care of it. But some guys might genuinely say, "Yeah, I'll test my paternity and see if it matches and whatnot." But it's definitely a mess, and I didn't mean to use that terminology, but I did, and it's too late to fix it. But yeah, it's definitely quite the situation she found herself in, and we'll see what happens. We'll
We
see
don't
how
know
it
for
ends
sure.
up.
We don't know for sure that it happened
Well, that's the
that
other thing,
day.
While making
right?
content, yeah.
Yeah.
You never know. Like, obviously, did she have other partners right
This is
before,
probably her strategy to get
right
more clout,
after?
low key.
Well, someone did say that. Like, is she actually pregnant? I think she is. I've seen pictures, right? But she could have then gotten pregnant, specifically, like with somebody, knowing that the timing would make it look like one of the 1,000 people
Yeah,
was the dad.
that's
So,
wild.
yeah, yeah, it's possible this was for clout, and that is crazy. If you got yourself pregnant to stay
Oh,
Instagram famous, don't do
you should
that.
literally go to child services and have your child
I
taken
mean,
away.
no, again, you should go to child services if you're actually hurting your child. So the child's not even here yet. But I would say that doesn't bode well for the kid's future. If they were created as an Instagram content machine. And if you're a guy and someone has that idea, just don't agree to it. Just don't. Be like, I'm sorry, you'll have to find a different participant. I'm not willing to make
hmm
that happen.
Well, not even Maury Povich wants to figure this out.
No.
So
And I know I don't.
weird. Okay. So we're inching closer to Oscars. The Oscars is gonna be next Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have your coverage for the Oscars as we do every year. Make our picks for the Oscars.
Next week, right? Yeah.
That's right. Ariana Grande is nominated for Best Supporting Actress. And we talked about this initially when the movie came out. She looks a lot different. And here during the BAFTAs, her most recent picture at 63 million views, I mean, she literally looks like skin and bones, guys. And this is what she used to look like. I mean, she's got a sharper jawline than us.
Yeah.
When's it time to be concerned? Even though we talked about this, we kind of brought this up initially in November,
Mhm.
but people keep bringing it up now, and I don't know. Is it going to be to the point where somebody has to say something?
I mean,
Alphaba is not Alphaba. What's her part?
Galinda.
Galinda. Do you really have to kill yourself for this?
I
Or
mean,
melt? It looks like. I don't know. A lot of people are making comments on this. 67 million views on that one pick. I don't know. I really do hope that she's okay. And I'm sorry, it's freaky. It's freaky, man. How skinny she is. It really is. She
what
looks
do you
like
think, Jose?
like less than 100 pounds.
She look all right.
Look, all right.
I mean,
Okay, Jose.
I
Whatever.
guess
rock
she
your
looks
boat.
all right, technically speaking. She's standing up and everything, yeah. But no, I mean, what's hard is one, you're like, who should say something? I feel like plenty of people have been saying stuff since November,
Yeah, right.
us included, right? So like, people are saying stuff. It's just clearly she doesn't care. So like,
She
there's
needs
no
a burger.
you can't like force feed her, like you know what I mean? Like you can't.
You remember? Oh, you just remember?
Nor should you, by the way. I'm
Oppenheimer?
not-
There's
yeah.
just the guy's like eat.
Again, I'm not saying you should, by the way. That would be horrible. I'm just saying in general, like she's an adult who will make her own decisions when it comes to that sort of thing. But also, then you got these creeps like Andrew Tate, right? Who did you see his comment? He was on that picture. He was like, he's like, it's official. I wouldn't sleep with Ariana Grande anymore. And I'm like, when you do stuff like that, like that makes you weirder.
That
That
doesn't
makes
help.
you
Some
weirder.
people keep
Why?
Why? Because it makes you weirder. Are you
Why?
like? Because we're worried about her starving to death, not whether or
Who's
not you
worried?
smash.
No, 90% of the guys only give a fuck if they smash it. They don't give a fuck what she
Oh
eats.
my god. Well, everybody else gives so that's
Yeah,
different.
every
but
woman and every little fairy out there, yes, they give a shit about her.
I don't know. I think
freaking
most guys would not like to see a person die. I don't think guys are
I swear to
fond
God,
of death.
I'll tell you right now, most guys, 80% of them will just still fuck her and not give a shit about her the next day. Nobody's gonna give
probably
us.
wrong about that. But
Would you? Do you gonna give a shit about her health? Would you fuck her if she's in front of you?
Man,
those are two separate questions, though, Jose.
But the point is, if you're willing to fuck her,
the answer can be both. Though,
why?
Right?
No, I'm not worried about sleeping with Ariana at this point.
Well, see, there you go.
Look at this.
Matt answered my question.
Look at this. Look at this. It's crazy.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, she's got a boyfriend. So, like, someone is doing both, right? Presumably, unless he doesn't think it was bad.
Of course, he ain't gonna think he ain't gonna say that shit to her.
Well, okay, that's what I'm saying. Like but you can do both. You don't have to choose would I rather smash or tell her that I think she needs food. I think you can do both.
You can't.
Honestly, I think the person
she's gonna be pissed off.
I think the person who's doing the first one should be the one who brings up the second one, to be honest with you.
And I agree with you. But guess what? He gives shit about. He gives about smashing first.
Because in fairness, he left his whole family and his newborn for her. So he kind of is invested now. But again, you're invested now. You'd think you want to make sure your new girl was, okay. I don't know. I think you can do both. I think when you make it about her attractiveness, you're taking away from the fact that she looks like sick. Yeah, like put aside whether you think she's still attractive. Anyway, that's kind of secondary.
We don't know why. Maybe she's doing another movie role and she needs to get that skinny.
I'm
If
saying,
they
yeah,
skinny.
maybe,
Who
but
knows?
I would say that might be too skinny, and maybe they should do the role differently.
Maybe
You know what I mean?
maybe she's starting a role where needs to be beneath LA with
No,
food
yes, I hear
disorders.
you, but I'm saying if that's the case, I mean, congrats, it's going well, but you need to start eating so you don't die before you finish filming. You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying is that it's like literally looking very, very scary. I would say, like again, put the whether or not it's good for her aside. Like I mean, good for her looks aside. It's if it's good for her health or not is the question. I would say at this point. Maybe in November we were like, oh yeah, she looks kind of skinny. You know what I mean? Like in November when we were talking about her and Cynthia Erivo, it was more of a physical transformation. Be like, wow, they've lost a lot of weight. That's weird because they didn't have a lot of weight to lose.
Yeah,
But
right.
now, that was November. It's February now. And it hasn't gotten better. It's only gotten more pronounced. At this point, you say, okay, you've been looking pretty small since November. That's probably a sign that something bad's going on, right? And it could just be stress, or it could be more than stress. And obviously, we'll never know because she'll probably never tell. But I don't know. A lot of people are like, you shouldn't, talk about the way people look or whatever. And that's why I say that about the Andrew Tates, because I think what me and Matt are saying is perfectly reasonable, is that she has lost a lot of weight and it doesn't seem healthy. But then you have the guys like Tate being like, I wouldn't smash anymore. And now everything, especially, let's be honest, when guys say it, gets painted with the brush of, oh, you just care about her looks. You just care about her looks. Which, in fairness, Jose admitted openly. So I guess some guys are that way. But I do think it's fair for people, guys or girls, to say, I mean, she doesn't look so good. Not in a physical would I not still way, but because none of us are going to do that anyway. But in a
We
she
still all
doesn't look
got
healthy.
chances. Me and Matt still have chances. She lives in New York.
I mean, you don't have chances because she's Ariana Grande is the main thing that's keeping you from doing it. But amongst many other things, but like her relationship status, y'all's relationship status.
Her relationship is on a rocks. So we're all right.
I don't know how you would know that, but okay.
I heard the scuttlebutt.
All right. Well, I heard that she's with Cynthia Erivo potentially, secretly.
Huh. Huh. I would like to see a tape of that.
Jeez.
I won't. Not from me. But let's go from one pop star to the other. And I'm about to play you a clip on exactly why people make fun of the Swifties. So I have been enjoying this break from Taylor Swift, post Super Bowl, with the Chiefs losing, and they are just taking a break from society like they wanted. They didn't even show up to SNL 50, which is awesome.
Good for them, by the way. Take a break.
Yeah,
Go on
take
vacation.
a break. Go away. But the Swifties are still being the Swifties, and we have a clip just dropped today where a woman is divorcing her husband after she caught him booing Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl. Let us play this supposed genius's idea on why they thought this was a good idea.
Oh, there's papers.
I'm divorcing my husband because he booed Taylor Swift at the
What the fuck?
Thank you.
Wow.
Already from a start. Here we go. Here's somebody who put themselves out there. Fear Black Internet Hall of Fame. I don't have the person here to embarrass them, but they don't deserve credit.
I'm divorcing my husband because he booed Taylor Swift at the Super Bowl, and I still don't think he believes me, to be honest, but he might want to start, because I just filed my paperwork at the courthouse, and you can see right here, the date of separation is this year's Super Bowl. I'm not just doing this because of the action of booing. I am doing this because of everything that it represents in our relationship. I have loved Taylor Allison Swift since I was 12 years old. My husband even likes her too. Like, he'll put on her music when we're cooking together. He has a favorite song. It's Girl at Home. But we were at the Super Bowl. It was me, him, and 5 of his buddies. And when they put Taylor up on the Jumbotron, all of his buddies started booing, and my husband joined in. And that just tells me everything I need to know about that man, because he didn't care that that would hurt my feelings. He just wanted to fit in with his boys. He didn't even care that that's not even how he actually feels. He just wanted to look cool, I guess. And that's not a man. That's a boy. And when you see that, you can't really unsee it. So I'm divorcing him. Thankfully, I have a prenup. I'll be retaining all of my assets as well as the assets that I inherited. With peace and love, he probably will not be returning to the Super Bowl anytime soon. So that's one less booer for you, Taylor. I love you.
So,
Yo, these bitches are crazy.
yeah.
Simple as that.
So,
I don't have
and this
anything else
might
to
be
add.
this might
I don't
be
have
a
anything else to add.
Yeah, this might be a
after
stupid question, right?
Oh, shoot.
What?
I'll tell you after, real quick.
Okay, so this might be a stupid question, and we won't get the answer. But did it occur to her, especially if they're not from Kansas City, right? Like, let's just assume for like half a second they went to the Super Bowl that they were Eagles fans, or at the bare minimum, rooting for the Eagles, right? Then of course he booed Taylor Swift. I booed Taylor Swift.
Yes, I did too.
But not because I cared that she was at the game. I had no problem with her at the game. I was booing everyone on the Chiefs. I would have booed Mama Kelsey if they'd shown her on screen. I wanted the Chiefs to lose, and I wanted the Eagles to win. And so I was cheering for the Eagles, and I was booing the Chiefs. And she is a part of the Chiefs. Like, I know she's not actually a team member, but like, she's a part of the presentation of the Chiefs. When they show the Chiefs, they show Taylor Swift, they show Brittany Mahomes, they show the Chiefs owners. Those people get booed at games by the other team, by the not Chiefs team. But I wanted that's but put that aside because let's whatever. I'm guessing that's probably what happened, by the way. But you just said that when you're home cooking dinner with your soon-to-be ex-husband, he puts on Taylor Swift songs, right? You'd probably make him do those little cutesy parts from the TikToks that I've had to learn. That'd be my guess. He's got a favorite song that he's actively told you about. That isn't because he's a Swiftie too. That's because you're a Swiftie and he's trying to do something nice for you. He says, okay, my wife and I are cooking together. Let's put Taylor Swift on. That's not because he wanted to listen to Taylor Swift and then he booed with his guy friends. It's because my wife likes Taylor Swift. I want to do something nice for my wife. This guy has literally shown you throughout your marriage that not only is he not a boy, he is a man, and he's husband material because he's willing to do the Taylor Swift stuff for you. But he's at a football game booing the Kansas City Chiefs, and so he boos them, and you're divorcing him? I mean, yep. I would say outright, he's not a boy. He's definitely a normal man. He's dodged a bullet because you're not a woman. You are a psychopath. And you need to
getting divorce papers and everything.
Medical professional. You need to see a medical professional. You need to go to a doctor. And you need to pay them all of that money you're going to retain because of your prenup and your precious assets you inherited. Good for you, girly goo. You got to give all that to a therapist and say, I literally got rid of my husband, who I know is supportive of my love for Taylor Allison Swift, because at a football game, he booed the team that she was cheering for. You're sick. You have to seek help. It's not normal what you've done. And if you have anyone in your family who cares about you, and maybe you don't, they would tell you that to your face, that you're making a massive mistake. If that and that alone is truly the only reason that this is happening. Now, again, if he's an ass and this was the final straw, then that's a different conversation. That's not how you made it sound. Made it sound like he was a great guy who booed once. Jesus.
Yeah, dude. It's
What
just
the
like
hell?
also adding to just the stereotype of the Swifties. And some people are saying they actually think this is satire, but still.
It better be, dude. It better be. Honestly, it better be.
Like, what are you inspiring? I've never seen this. I've never seen anybody, any person of influence except Taylor, influence the public like this.
I mean, honestly, it's Taylor and the current president. Those are the two people.
Yeah,
who can do
yeah,
this.
right.
Genuinely speaking, Taylor Swift and the current president of the United States, Donald Trump, are the only two people who can do this to human beings.
It could literally be.
It's fucking weird. I don't get it about either group. By the way,
it's just like with the idea just to go to a divorce lawyer to actually pay all this money.
She had papers. Satire with papers.
That's yeah. I think people are just trying to
trying
know.
to salvage some normalcy in society. Also, like the gulf between men and women has grown in a way that's frankly dangerous for the survival of humankind. And this nonsense, I'm not saying guys don't play a part in this. You guys both know I am hypercritical of men. I believe we are a nation of little boys by and large.
That's
I have
okay.
called people who have been on this show boys for the way that they've spoken about women, for the way that they've spoken about, people who are different than them and who they love, etc., etc. So this is not, oh, guys sticking up for guys. This is you need help. You, lady, are the only person
and you know
who's
what's
done something
ironic
wrong
too
so
about
far.
that too?
Taylor, reach out to her and tell her that she made a mistake. Seriously.
What's ironic too is the fact that music is supposed to be an escape, but yet it's causing some people to make these rash decisions.
Again, I don't. The music's not the problem. It's the hero worship.
All right. So while we are limited on time for today, I do want to share another story that just dropped. I think it's worth bringing up. Try to keep it to 5 minutes. So The Rock announced, though I should say, it was announced in Hollywood that The Rock is going to be the lead in the Martin Scorsese film. Did not see that coming. Why? I genuinely always felt The Rock was really genuinely a good actor and can transform into characters. That really is a big deal. So
Man, that final boss persona, it did it. It got Marty's attention.
Honestly, Ryan, I guess so. Well, guess
saw-
what? It was announced here from him. He's going to be on SmackDown tonight.
Is it really?
Yes, it says it right here. This is him. He is returning. Well, it says tomorrow, the time of this recording. The Rock is going to be on WWE TV tonight. What are we thinking right now? The Rock is coming back.
What?
Marty's going to be sitting there going cinema.
No, should we? First of all, is it fair to take this seriously, or are we gonna? Or was this what they were playing all along? We have Elimination Chamber next Saturday.
Cody.
So, do you guys believe right now it's back on? We're getting The Rock and Cody.
No.
Add Cody to the match. They've done this before. You start with a triple threat. You got 4 people in the corners. You make it for the title. You could do it.
Elimination Chamber.
John Cena, Logan Paul, WWE Championship. Cody gets The Rock in Tribal Combat. Let's get it done. Triple H, I'm tired. I'm tired of giving you gold and you ignoring it. I today booked the presidential Royal Rumble on Twitter, and people loved it.
Yeah, I saw you have been viral on wrestling Twitter for that, right?
So I know, all right? I'm right. Listen to me, Triple H. You have to listen to me. You have to.
Jesus. I think it's gonna be something with
some tie-in.
To promote the movie. It'll be to promote the movie, then it'll leave. Is actually what's probably going to happen. But still.
No, do you actually believe that, or do we think this changes anything, or is it just he's just showing up?
Probably just showed. They've been like, this WrestleMania bill's been a little quiet. Let's get The Rock back. Get people to pay attention.
Well, that will piss some people off if you're really going to tease like that.
Yeah. Yes, it will. But The Rock doesn't care. Why would he? You'll be just drinking that Terramana, ignoring it. I think Terramana's the tequila, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, why don't we make fun of baseball now? As we made fun of the NBA, we'll not make fun of baseball, but it was also announced today, fair to bring this up, right, that ESPN and Major League Baseball mutually agreed to end their national TV contract after the 2025 season. This as a result of actually Rob Manfred, the commissioner, pushing this decision due to lack of coverage that ESPN has been given to baseball, and baseball feeling that it is not getting the appeal nationally, which both sides are right. Mm-hmm. It's wild to think. Honestly, at a time while baseball themselves right now, while definitely not a boom period, it's definitely as popular as it has been at least the last 10 years.
Really? You believe
Sadly,
that?
I know, like
now the ratings
numbers
show.
show that. Yeah.
Now I'm not saying that's a big deal because it isn't. It's nowhere close to that, but they are outdrawing the NBA Finals technically. But we have this news and a collective bargaining agreement luring next year in 2026, where I've actually read that some people are predicting they're going to have another strike because of what the
Probably.
Dodgers are doing and the big separation from the owners that can compete and not compete, that they are going to have no mercy. So an interesting time, and especially if they are anticipating another lockout only 4 years after the last lockout. Weird time, man. But the idea that ESPN has given up on baseball, a legitimate, even though it may not feel that way nationally, it is a major league sport.
Oh yeah.
Obviously
It's
very
American
regional,
sport though, too.
but
Like
your number one sports, your number one sports media outlet saying no, we're done with this shit. It's pretty wild to think. Even if MLB also agreed to part
Yeah.
ways with them.
So who is the buyer for baseball?
Well, they're a free agent now. There isn't one
Yeah.
now.
That's
So
what I'm
anybody
saying.
could be who?
That's
Netflix?
but no, serious. It's like what is the
TNT?
because like so when you look at the
TNT
stream,
but they got Braves.
Well, I'm
I
saying
mean,
Turner Sports because they do the
Right.
TBS they have with Pedro Martinez
Yeah.
and
yeah,
Curtis
no, they
Granderson,
have
Jimmy Rollins. They have their
yeah,
version.
they do
Nobody
have
watches it,
baseball,
but
right?
it
They do
is
have
a
baseball
thing.
coverage, so you could do that. But I'm like, the streamers are not. It's not big enough. I mean, the streamers might agree to do the what's it called, like the World Series, right? Like, be like, yeah, we'll take the World Series. You know what I mean? Like, I could see Amazon putting in a bid for the World Series. You know what I mean? Like
But
the exclusive
all they'll
home.
want is Yankees Mets or Yankees Dodgers. That's pretty much
Right.
it.
And it's like they don't want anything huge. So it's like I like obviously ESPN didn't want it, so that's that. But I this could be good, but I could also see this being very bad for them. Like I don't know how much they're worth to one of the other networks. Like you said, maybe they'll get like a pity bid because TNT already has baseball content that no one watches, so might as well own the games too, right? But like beyond them, Fox Sports doesn't probably need it. Obviously, ESPN is a no-go. CBS Sports,
Well,
I
yeah,
don't
Fox
really
already
do
has
anything.
But
baseball.
what
Yeah, that's
would
what I
you
mean.
air it? Like
Wait a minute, what would I air?
Fox Sports is probably the only one. I mean, you're gonna do it regularly, right? If you're trying to get licensed to MLB, you're gonna try
Right.
to get a
Well, and Fox
package.
again, like TNT, Fox Matt just said does have some baseball coverage, so that's something. But like,
But who the
if
fuck watches Fox
that's what I
Sports?
mean, if nobody is watching your baseball coverage, is adding the baseball games gonna be helpful? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who's gonna want to add the games to a slate that no one is watching anyway?
Honestly, only thing is Warner Brothers. That's about it. I mean, you could put it on fucking Max, and you can have it. They lost the NBA rights, so I mean, so it
Try and
just makes
replace
it. And
that.
you're
Yeah.
ready, and you bought Bleacher Sport for Max, which
hmm
makes it just covers the hole because now like it just makes it better because now you have no MLB package going. I mean, not
Okay. So
MLB,
yeah.
NBA.
So you lose the NBA, but
You,
but
you
you
got
add,
the
you replace with
with
baseball.
ML, yeah. I mean, you have no kind of choice. Look at they fucking overpaid for AEW, and that's a piece of
Ha!
shit. So I
Ha!
mean,
Ha!
realistically,
Ha!
it just makes a smart movie. You
I
can get
love
it
the
at
time to make fun of
you
AEW.
can get it at a discounted price there. Like, come on, it's not like it's just gonna be a fucking giant bidding war for this shit.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying is like nothing's gonna drive this price up, and honestly, it'll
Exactly.
probably just be. I think best case scenario they'll get two offers that'll
Now,
match each other.
who made this? Who made this
It's mutual,
announcement?
they said.
Well, who made the announcement?
The announcement
MLB,
itself,
Was on
MLB or
ESPN.
I got
ESPN?
it from The Athletic.
Okay.
Oh.
They haven't
So
Well,
commented
and
yet.
if I can see ESPN just dropping them in because they're fucking they overpaid the shit to get NBA in there. So you're gonna have to put more NBA games to just cover
Right.
given the reasons of the cost. MLB ain't giving no fucking numbers, so I see that. I can see ESPN just dropping MLB. It's like this is no
Well,
point.
they
It's
definitely
worth
did
it.
that. I mean,
So
they're saying mutual, but
I can see MLB coming out with a press saying it's mutual, so they can get new buyers
well,
because
so I will say to the MLB's credit, and Matt mentioned this too. ESPN has not been an efficient
Yeah.
what's
it
it called?
Partner.
hasn't
Partner.
been efficient sports to anybody. It's really listening for Monday Night Football, and that's pretty much it. And
And
No, I
college
know.
sucking
football,
down the
I mean,
NBA too.
right? And realistically, you
Right.
don't
Suck
give
him
a
off.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, realistically,
Plus I'm
ESPN
saying,
don't do shit.
I mean, I wonder if there's like some I don't know. Are any of the smaller streamers into the idea? I don't know who's got
So
money.
I
I
know
just don't know who's
Roku.
got
Roku
money.
has a deal with MLB for Sunday games.
That's right.
Roku.
But Roku or but what if Roku
Let's be honest, because the MLB package, you can buy the MLB package through MLB, and you can have all the fucking games you want, and they're giving it away for free to T-Mobile people. So let's be real
So that's
honest.
kind of what my thought is is it not is there a world where they kind of put together a Frankenstein's coalition and I'm going to say a name that I probably don't mean because I don't think they'll do it, but just you know, play with me for a second. What if somebody like a Barstool, in partnership with a couple other entities like T-Mobile, like Roku, decided to take over baseball? I mean, there's ballparks in every major city. Every college town has got a Major League Baseball, so you can still do all kinds of barstooly stuff. You talk about trying to make the sport less regional, more national. Like those guys, they're like the folks who could do it. I know we've always been like, you need your star, and yeah, you do need a star. But if you don't have a star, if you could turn it into a tailgate that everybody wants to go to and a frat party that everybody wants to be a part of, I mean, Barstool can do that. And I don't know. That's just an idea.
Like
And
I
again,
said, the only ones who will go hard are New York, Chicago, and LA. That's
But
the
not
ones who
even
can.
really, not really, because you only Yankees, like, you give a fuck about the beginning of the season and big time series, but then we realistically go hard towards the end if we're
well,
at the
I know. I
race
think
or in the
that
playoffs.
people go hard for their teams. I think that we're not
Not in the
giving
middle of
enough credit.
fucking June.
No, but I'm saying we're not necessarily crediting in the beginning and the end of the year, especially the beginning, how crazy people go. And I do think that they could create content around that. But I don't know. I'm just spitballing because I think a normal traditional deal is going to be pennies to what they probably want.
Pretty
Because there's
much.
not going to be a lot of people overly interested. But if you put together something interesting, something new, something exciting, you get some younger people in charge of the way that it's presented. I don't know. You never know. You know what I mean? Like those banana people from Georgia, the comedy group, they go viral all the time. There's people who watch
Yeah,
baseball
the
stuff.
Savannah Bananas.
Yeah,
They're
there's people.
awesome.
Yeah,
They're
there's
actually
people who
doing
watch it.
major. They're major. They're doing major stadiums now in the middle of the
Yeah,
season.
that's
They're
what
a
I
big
mean.
deal.
Yeah, so people like baseball content well enough. It's
Yeah,
just they need to be presented it in a way that they like and relate
honestly,
to. So,
especially with the Latin market, that's where Bad Bunny comes in. You literally.
yes. Well, that's the
No,
other
I'm
option
sorry.
too.
Said
Yes.
Puerto Rico, the most famous
Hmm.
person out of Puerto Rico. I don't know if he's a fan. He's
Oh,
been at the All-Star games. Is Bad Bunny a Yankee fan or a Met fan?
I don't
he's a
know.
Yankees
Maybe
fan.
Okay, because I've
But he
it
seen
makes
him
doesn't.
also
sense
He,
that
but
support
he,
Lindor too.
but he doesn't particularly give a fuck about sports. That like
Okay,
he
so
wears
he's like, if I am gonna pick somebody.
if he's gonna be there, he's just gonna be there. He wears the Yankee hat. I never saw him with a fucking Mets hat. I'll tell you
But I
that.
mean, but all right. But as an example, Bad Bunny has a lot of money, right?
And
He's
there's a
very
lot of Puerto
popular.
Rican players.
Right. He's popular with young people too. Again, if you put together this kind of online first coalition and you just have Roku be the TV partner because you got to have someone, right? I think you could actually make people get kind of interested, like younger people get kind of interested in baseball again. I mean, I've gone to
But
plenty
you
of
got,
baseball tailgates. They can be plenty of fun. If, Barstool shows up with, a million gallons of Pink Whitney,
I think you guys are,
you know what I mean? Like,
I think you guys confused because the Expanders got the Caribbean League. We go fucking crazy for the Caribbean League because it's like the who's who in the MLB Hispanics go down while off season to go play the league in the
Yeah, they
oh,
Caribbean,
yeah.
where
continue
it's
to play.
Dominicans,
Yeah.
where they continue to play, which is fucking bonkers. Like they go crazy down there.
Well, yeah,
It just
because
does.
it's
It
warmer
doesn't
and they get to keep playing.
but it doesn't translate when we get up to when like the MLB start. Ain't nobody giving them. It's fucking crickets.
It is crazy. That is funny to see.
And
I'd
it's
like to
just
do more
yeah,
research on
different
that
sport. I don't
because
know.
I know
I
they
think
were
there's something.
they had the series they brought up to City Field that sold out in November.
Yeah.
There's all Dominicans out there.
Yeah,
Right.
no, that's what I mean. I don't think that this is as hard as people think it's going to be. They just have to be creative. If they just try and find, if they just go TNT, same old, just a new network, then it's going to be the same old result. If they get creative, I think that they could actually do something.
I like it. All right. So, I got something funny for you guys. I just have to bring this up. It's so wild. It probably technically isn't that viral, but I'm gonna bring it up anyways. Only because this one particular movie has a special place in my heart. Do you guys know of the movie Heavyweights, starring Ben Stiller and Keenan as a kid?
Mhm.
So, guys, this is so wild. This is the first ever time I feeling old about a movie. The movie Heavyweights turned 30 years old this week. 30 years old, this movie about kids at fat camp. That is a Disney movie, by the way, and there's no way in hell this is PC, politically correct. There's no they're not playing this on Disney Channel. I think you can find it on Disney Plus,
It's on Disney Plus, yeah.
but it's just it's 90s humor. Look at this. It's about a fat camp where kids are literally called fat and stuff like this. But
Ben Stiller.
look at this. It's a role with young Keenan in it.
Yeah.
And by the way, I mean, again, this I have to say, no, this is truly one of my favorite lines in a movie ever. And I love my movies. I just have
Get
to
a final expert review before you file at no extra.
But I just have to share this while we celebrate Heavyweights.
Attention campers, lunch has been cancelled today due to lack of hustle. Deal with it.
One of my favorite lines in a movie ever. Guys, but I feel like this movie, it's a Disney movie. It's one of the darker Disney movies. They literally fat shame people and stuff like that.
It's a 90s movie that Disney made. You know what I mean? Like, Disney didn't
They get a pass?
No, I'm just saying, like, in general, Disney wasn't like, oh, this is a Disney movie. Like, it was a movie. You know what I mean?
That Disney
It's kind of like we
produced.
talked about this last time, where it's like, My Date with the President's Daughter feels like a Disney movie, but it's really just a normal movie that, like, Disney likes. Like, this is that, but, like, a half step above it, because Disney did actually produce this. They just made a normal movie for the time period and then released it. Like, they didn't try and brand it with all of their name. Like, they didn't try and insert a bunch of IP. Like, and that in the 90s, they didn't do that as much anyway. But yeah, like, it was just a movie they made. Anyone could have made that movie. It just happened to be Disney in the 90s. You know what I mean?
I love that movie. It's such a great movie. Literally that line, due to lack of hustle.
I don't think I realized
due to lack of hustle, which is
I don't think I
totally child
realized-
abuse.
Yeah, I know. I didn't think I realized how much like White Goodman from Dodgeball
Is just Tony Perkins.
is just Tony Perkins. Like, I don't
It's the
think I
same
realized
character.
they're very, very similar, and they talk very, very similar too. And I don't know that I realized that until re-listening to that clip. And I was like, that literally could have been something that White Goodman would have said. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody makes me bleed my own blood. So yeah, no, that's new. Not new, obviously. I just didn't at the time. Certainly didn't catch that. How similar those roles are.
All right, guys. I got two quick comedians for you. First, the name is Ron Funches. In this clip, I
Oh, I like Ron
specifically
Funches.
saved for Ryan because we talk about conspiracy theories all the time and stuff.
I think I know this clip, and it's my favorite clip in comedy ever.
Let's do it then. Here we go. This is Ron Funches conspiracy theories, and me and Ryan having these talks of conspiracy theories with Jose.
Just don't understand how you not believe in any conspiracy theories. I understand not all of them, not most of them, but you don't believe in any conspiracy theories? You just think the government's just batting 1,000 and telling us the whole truth? That's a strong stance to take. Again, as I said before, I don't like talking about politics on stage or off stage. I don't like talking about things I don't feel like I'm truly knowledgeable in. But I do know this. Our government is placed in charge of all of its people. I'm a father who's been placed in charge of just one son. And I lie to that all the time.
I love that clip. I love that special, by the way. It's very funny.
He makes a good point regarding conspiracy theories. You just think
they're just
the
out here
government
batting
is
1,000, batting 1,000, telling the whole truth. That's a strong stance to take. It is, and I mean, they're definitely not. By the way, I know I'm definitely the anti-conspiracy person, insofar as whenever a conspiracy, especially a new conspiracy, drops. This is typically how it goes. Matt believes it instantly, or at least talks like he believes it instantly.
Yeah,
to me,
the latter for sure.
And then I spend maybe 5-ish minutes just reading about it, and then trying my absolute hardest, whether I personally believe it or not, to explain why it could be not real. Like that's basically how every conspiracy is filtered on the show. Is Matt with Gusto says this is true based on this TikTok, and then I watch the TikTok and I do some research and I try and prove the TikTok wrong, and that's like the entirety of like how it works. And it's for any conspiracy we've talked on the show. That's, by the way, how it's gone down. And a lot of times, if I make a really good case about why it's not real, or if I don't make a really good case, then we cover it, because then either it's stupid and it's funny to cover, or it might be true, and so we cover it. But no, I do believe in some conspiracies. I don't trust random information anymore. I probably used to, but now so many people just say things, just whatever they want, make it up. You know what I mean? They'll just talk. But anyway. I think Matt's muted, but
I think it's a fair point. I mean, yeah, I just wanted to point that out there. You can't believe they're batting 1,000. You just can't.
No one's batting 1,000. Everyone's wrong at least a couple times. Everyone.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. So our last comedic page we're gonna show today. There's this guy named Vinnie Locosto, right? There's some dude from Long Island is funny. But again, this guy does the most simple things in this world, and he's a viral sensation from it. So let me show you at this TikTok that has 11 million views. This is all the guy does. You get $1 million if you could sing every lyric to one song without making a mistake. Which song? Let me ask you guys, which song are you picking?
I don't know. You think you'd want it to be short, though, right? I mean, can you do like Happy Birthday?
No, that's too easy.
I mean, I know all the words to like Not Over You by Gavin DeGraw. I know that one pretty well. There's a couple of songs from when I was in music in college that I probably know well enough to get all of the words right still. Yeah, I guess to pick a pop song, we'll go with the Not Over You, Gavin DeGraw. I know, I think I could do that one in my sleep still. I sang that so often for so many different auditions and shows and things like that when I was in high school. I think that one's just locked in forever.
What are you
Mine's
picking,
easy.
Jose?
Tyrese Sweet Lady. Sorry.
You're the only person who will pick a Tyrese song.
A Tyrese song. I mean, good for you. Hey, good for you. Hey,
I just picture you listening to it on your CD player throughout the
CD
2000s to
player.
get this.
Right after I went. Right after I was at TRL.
Ooh, actually, you know a really short one that I
But
also know all the words to? Norwegian Wood by the Beatles. It's a
that's a
creepy
random.
song. Creepy song. But
How
I
do you
know all the
remember that?
words.
Why?
Well, again, I've been performing since I was like 8. I had to learn songs, and I had usually once I learned them, committed them to memory for an audition or for a show or whatever. They were just, and I did a Beatles review when I was 11, I think. So I know a bunch of Beatles songs in their entirety, but that one is a particularly short one. So that's what
Respect.
makes it good.
Well, this is what this guy picked, and it got 11 million views from it.
After you, you're gonna. What's new, Scooby Doo? We're coming after you. You're gonna solve that mystery. I see you, Scooby Doo. The trail leads back to you. What's new, Scooby Doo?
I hear the guitar in my head right now.
We're gonna follow you. You're
This is all
gonna
he
solve
does.
that mystery. We see you, Scooby Doo. We're coming after you.
I'm gonna leave it to the end.
I'm gonna need this video to be over a minute. Reggie.
That's
how this dude. That's how this dude gets famous.
I don't know that I could do all of What's New, Scooby Doo. I could do a lot of it though.
Dude, or another one. This song.
Like no one ever would be the very best. Like no one ever was.
Bum, bum,
To
bum.
catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause.
This is all he does.
You teach me and I'll teach you. Pokemon, gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all. Pokemon.
Damn, that guy has no life.
When a demonic record is played in reverse in a horror movie.
You can was if I were
I wonder if that does work actually. If you played it in reverse, would it sound like the song?
This is 10 million views on this clip.
I mean, that's cool. If that works, by the way, if you could reverse that and it sounds like Stairway to Heaven, that's actually pretty cool.
Man. And this is I always liked when you remember when you were waking up before in the middle of the night and this song came on in 2003.
Imagine owning the world's greatest love songs.
Yes.
By the greatest voices of our time.
It's actually the commercial.
In a once-in-a-lifetime collection.
Michael Bolton. That was Michael Bolton.
Again,
that's really
6
funny.
million views for that.
He even
I don't
added
know
the
what
words.
is holding us back, right? What's holding us back?
It just
if you can't go viral like that.
It's just random. Baby Shark has made somebody $35 million.
Yeah, exactly that. Oh man, but never a dull moment. Never a dull moment. Ryan and Jose, great work as always. I'll see you guys next week. We got tweet caps for you on Tuesday and Friday, and we got a college basketball show for you on Thursday. So we'll see you then. Have a great weekend and stay safe out there, everybody. Seriously, stay safe out there.
Yes. Have a good night.
See ya.
Night.